Hi everyone, today I'm opening the March Artsnacks Plus box, and it's a very, very light box, so I'm very curious because there's usually a pad of paper in there that makes it a little heavy. But one day we had a small light canvas in it, so it could be something similar. Let's find out. Alrighty, so the paper we have today is the Rembrandt watercolor paper. We received some samples a little while ago. Some of you might remember this. There was sample paper. Actually, it was quite a while ago. So this time it's an actual pad. So it's 140 pounds, which is nice. And I don't see that it's cotton, so it's probably not. There's 12 sheets. It's acid-free. And it's 7 by 10 inches. So it's probably cellulose paper. It's very, very smooth on the other side. And it has a nice texture on the top side. Let's see what else we have in here. Got the two menus. Ooh, Smarties, my favorite. I love them. So we have a Velvet Touch brush by Princeton, which has been sent before in the Artsnacks box, but I love them. It's size 8. I think I already have a size 8, but it doesn't matter. They're really good brushes. I use them all the time for my watercolors. Ooh, watercolor paper, watercolor brush, and a museum aquarelle Caran watercolor pencil. I wonder if it's a theme here. Are we going to have watercolor in here? I hope so. It will be fun. Caran, by the way, is a great... They make really, really good watercolor pencils. I've got the Super Color set. Got all of them, and they're very, very good, and I'm pretty sure that the museum aquarelle is a step above. It's even better. They dissolve really nicely, and today I have the light blue. So these are what comes in the Artsnacks Plus box, on top of what comes in the Artsnacks box, which is in here. Got the sticker here, very colorful, and a graphite, a brush liner made in Japan, pigment ink, and it's black ink, even though it's all white, the body's all white, and it's water-based pigment ink, light fast and waterproof. Nice. Oh, very nice. I'm glad it's waterproof because it looks like we have watercolor stuff. And we have Rembrandt Watercolor. That's cool. Artist quality. It's Quinacridone orange. Ooh, that's going to be pretty. So it has here the number of the color. It has the, look, I don't know, I think it's transparent. It has 3 stars or crosses, and I'm hoping that means it's very light fast. Actually, it shows the information here. It has the pigment PO for 48. It's a series 2 and light fastness 1. So I'm guessing that that's the regular light fastness, and usually 1 means it's highly light fast. So I'm looking forward to trying this. I love Quinacridone orange. We've got another brush here. Oh, it's like a scrubby brush. It's a Royal and Langnickel. Ugh, I can never pronounce this. Royal and Langnickel. Langnickel. Ugh. So it looks like a scrubby brush, and I love scrubby brushes when I do watercolors because it helps me lift pigments. And here we have a Royal Talons or Brunswick. I'm guessing they're watercolor pencils. And it looks like it's a set of purples. Do we have... Well, in my book, when there's no name color on it, it's probably not like super awesome quality or artist quality. There's the numbers, but there's no colors. I don't like that. So it says expression color. So I'm guessing those are little sets that, or maybe not. You know what? It has the Artsnacks logo on it. So maybe it's a set that was made in particular for the Artsnacks customers. Let me see what they say here. I'm intrigued. Limited edition, Artsnacks exclusive. We specially designed this pack of Brunswick Expression colored pencils just for Artsnackers. Imported from Holland, these cedar encased pencils are packed with quality pigments. Barely any pressure is needed to achieve bright color. Thanks to this pencil's strong, thick 3.3mm core, the vivid hues will pop off your page. Well, hopefully it's good quality. I like this better. But you never know. There's a lot of good watercolor pencils out there. Again, I just don't like it when there's no colors written on the pencils. Let's see what the bonus art prompt is this month. Cut your Grumbacher watercolor paper into 2.5 by 3.5 inches pieces and create your own artist trading cards. ATCs are miniature pieces of art that are traded all around the world, in person and online. Oh, I guess I could do that. Do a tiny little thing. I'm used to it. I make ATCs all the time, so there's no particular theme, just a size. That's pretty easy. So I used my little paper sample book that I got in the previous box, and I tested all my supplies on it. Since it's the same paper, then it gives me a good idea on how the supplies work on this paper. I must say the brush pen is really nice. The tip is very soft, so I know I'm going to have a hard time using it because my hand is not very steady when it comes to lining or even lettering. You can see how bad I am at lettering, but it really is a beautiful brush. And for the Velvet Touch brush, instead of using the brand new one, I decided to use the one that I already have, and that way I can keep this one nice and clean and new for when I need a new one. The Caran d'Ache watercolor pencil is as expected. It's really nice and soft and buttery. It blends really nicely as well, so it's great. I love it. The Quinacridone orange paint is beautiful. It's a very nice shade of orange and it's a little rusty. It's very nice. I love it. As far as the Brunswick colored pencils are concerned, I don't know why I didn't realize that they're actually colored pencils and not watercolor pencils. It's written all over the place. Even when I read the menu card, I even read they're colored pencils, not watercolor pencils. So I'm not sure why I didn't realize that. The colors are great, but using them on watercolor paper, especially cold press watercolor paper, it's very bumpy, and so you really see the texture of the paper, which is not my favorite. I think it would have been nicer if we had received some hot press watercolor paper, especially using the liner and the colored pencils. But we'll make do. And finally, the Manta brush. I'm kind of bummed about this one. I mean, I'm glad I have this brush because it's nice and I really like scrubber brushes and I will use it for sure. But when I read the description, it actually said, I'm going to read it to you right now. Beautiful watercolor deserves a beautiful brush. With soft synthetic squirrel bristles, the Royal and Langnickel Menta brush is made specifically for watercolor painting. It holds a generous amount of color and is extremely resilient. It is not soft synthetic squirrel bristles. I mean, it wouldn't even be that color if it was. So I checked and I went on the Royal and Langnickel website. I actually checked the Manta series 88 brushes, and there are a bunch of synthetic squirrel bristle brushes that look beautiful. They have brown bristles and they probably are very soft. However, I ended up with the scrubber brush, which is part of the series, but you can't paint with a scrubber brush. So it's okay for my particular situation because I did receive another brush that I can paint with, but I'm thinking about the Artsnacker who only got the small box and has watercolor to try out and only has a scrubber brush to use it. I don't see how that works. I actually tried it. It works okay, but you can't really make a painting with that. It's made to lift watercolor off the paper. Yeah, somebody didn't pay attention, I think. Also because half of the supplies didn't work really well on the more textured side of the paper, I decided for my challenge to use the other side of the paper, which is a lot smoother. So I tried the supplies on that side of the paper and it worked pretty well. The colored pencils were still a bit weird. It felt like I was coloring on a greasy surface. It's a bit weird, but it was okay. Later on, I tried them on a piece of regular drawing paper and they worked much better on it. So I did cut my paper into a 2.5 by 3.5 inches trading card. I took a Bronzil pencil, the pinkish one. I don't know the name of the colors because they're not written anywhere. And I decided to draw an octopus. Don't ask me why, that's what came to my mind. And then I lined it with a graphite brush liner. And now you can actually see what I was telling you earlier, that my hand is definitely not steady when I do that. So I didn't really like the way I lined it and I decided to try it again. So I drew the octopus on another piece of paper and lined it again, and I liked this new version better. Once the ink was dry, I used a Caran d'Ache watercolor pencil on the background, and then I started diluting the pigments with the brush and water. And before it was dry, I wanted to add some texture to it, so I kind of flickered some orange watercolor in it. Once that background was dry, I used the watercolor on the octopus itself, and I kind of did the same thing, but reverse. With my wet brush, I went over the tip of the watercolor pencil and flickered that blue onto some areas of the octopus. I really liked the effect it gave. When that was dry, I used one of the blue pencils to define the texture of the background a little bit more. Not much, just a little bit. And then I used the pink pencil again, the one I used for my original sketch, and I went over the shadow areas on my octopus. And the mix of that pink and the quinacridone orange, I think looks really good. And finally, I took the brush pen again and added all the little suction on the tentacles. I had a lot of fun drawing this little octopus. It's something that I don't do often, just draw from my imagination, and like I usually say, I should do it more often. So I hope you like this video. Like you might have seen on the title, I think it is part 1 because Artsnacks says that Tombow is supposed to send us a box as well. So when I receive that, I'll open it up and I'll see what I can draw with the supplies in it. I don't know if I'm going to mix them with the supplies in this box. We shall see. Thank you all for stopping by. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Now, if you get an Artsnacks box, I'd love to know what kind of Manta brush you got. I hope you didn't get the scrubby if you only get the small box. And also what color you get with your Rembrandt paint. Now, I don't know about the color pencils, but if you got another set, I'd love to hear what it is as well. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.